What is going on, WolfPac Nation? It's the Wolf. Today is June 20th, 2022. It's a federal holiday, so the banks and the general markets are closed today. Perfect time to make a weekly recap video. I just want to point out briefly that all of the execution charts you see today and from this point moving forward are executed via CenterPoint Securities. We opened the first account with CenterPoint in August of 2021. Everything was great. Liquidity rebates, fills were fantastic. The routing, just amazing. So we opened up multiple accounts with them. And also now we have an affiliation. So if you're interested, promo code WolfPac, we can get you in with a lower starting balance and significantly reduced commission structure. So if you're interested, check out the link below. But let's just go ahead and jump right in. Here we have RDBX. So this is an entertainment ticker, 2 million float, micro float. We traded this on Monday, 6/13. So let's go ahead and just pull some of the notations from the Wolf Trading Discord server. We got in small on this rejection here, kind of double top pre-market rejection. We definitely watched this pre-market triple top. We saw it was heavy. You can see it breaking down off the sheep line. We watched the open. It was kind of sideways, so still undirectional. Added more, and we were patient enough to trim it off at our Wolf lines, our higher time frame LVNs. So you can see here, this is we reported, we're looking at this 1463 area for a bounce up in the room. When we say bounce up, that's an opportunity to get a long for a bounce or trim spot, meaning trimming down the short position. As you can see here, 1463, which was right about exactly where it was. We got flat right there. It pushed up here, came back up, and you can see that pre-market high test. Watch the little tape here. This is a 1 minute chart, but I guarantee if we zoomed in and we had a micro tape on this, you can see there's probably a shelf. We got in, re-entered the position, watch some tape, watch it break down. Nice pull here, took some profit. So in our opinion, in the money risk is basically like the middle finger to these algos. We're not going to give any profit back. So I think we trimmed off half, and then we had 50% in the money risk trigger, and we got flat on that name. Tuesday, HUSA. So HUSA, this one is an energy name. Energy was running last week. It was pushing. Now it's kind of pulling in. Again, these are trades from last week, but this is a 9 million float entity. And surprising enough, there's 2 employees. Don't believe me? You can check out the 10K. Let's actually check this one out. HUSA. Go to the 10K. And I use BAMSAC, but you can use Edgar, BAMSAC, whatever. Then Alt F or Control F. Control F is your friend. And then let's just type in full time. It's not there. Sometimes it's full hyphen time. There you go. As of December 31st, we had 2 full-time employees. No joke. So know what you own. I think Nate coined that term, but you definitely want to know, what kind of ticker you're trading. Also, I like to use Yahoo Finance. You can see here in the profile, full-time employees too. Go ahead and give them a call. Someone give them a call, 713 right here. I would love to leave in the comment what they say. That would be great. Back to the action. So HUSA and also KOLD is another energy ETF, was on main watch for 6/14 of last week. Also, I like to keep an eye on crude futures /CL on Thinkorswim, but there's a lot of liquidity in these names mentioned here. We saw an $8 player. He appeared about 9:30, just after the bell. I saw him. We're keeping an eye on this level. I started putting little feelers out very early, but this is a macro sector play. I didn't want to add any more at 8. You can see we had a player here. It's a tier 1 megaphone. Now, the megaphone pattern is a highly institutional pattern, in my opinion. Let's just briefly move over to the Wolf Trading Discord server. Here you can see in the technical room, we talk a little bit about this pattern. We talk about these patterns all the time, but this is the most recent time we talked about it on AMLX. You can see here, it's a highly institutional manipulation play, just stop hunts on demand and supply side. And we also talk about how to trade it. So you can see we're trading it successfully here, but this is something that we talk about in the Discord server. We're moving back to the action. So I wanted to see aggression into the tier 1 support, which we did see here at 777. Mild aggression into 770 uptick. Organics, meaning retail or unsophisticated participation. It pulls in. Now I'm watching a little tape. I'm curious about this 733 area. We had a wolf line here. These are areas that we like to watch. We generate these lines using historical liquidity deposits. And I even had enough time to snapshot the level 1. I mean, this is literally what we're watching, the 733 bid and the 737 offer. There's a 4-cent spread. We're watching these zones. It slashed down into that zone exactly, 730s right here. I didn't initially take it profit on the front side of that pull, but as it was spongy, it came back up. I took some off, and you can see it just shot back up right through the sheep line, added some back, and then we reduced down again. Now we're kind of in a little bit of a core trade. We're in a rhythm here. So when I'm starting to build a position, obviously I'm going to spend more mental resources on the tape and leading data, and then that's how we're able to notice stuff like this here. You can see at 11:30. Right when it was like a consolidation wick back trap tape, we like to call it. It's just a trap in our opinion. So we posted it. It's a trap. It's a short stop hunt and reject question mark. I don't know what's going to happen. We're posting this live as it happens, but if it does reject and pull, we're going to target 683, which is another higher time frame level. It did reject. Not going to take profit. Still watching it. It did reject again. Now it's just heavy, heavy, heavy. Longs that are trapped are fighting. They're stacking the offer to get out. Shorts might be adding, probably. I wish I added here. I'm just taking profit, and then bam, flat 681. So that was HUSA. Then on 615, we had Dawn. Now Dawn is a biotechnology company, 17 million float. Also want to make note, here's some room annotations. Make note that the institutional ownership is high. So the levels that we're watching are 1261 and 1316. This was easy to borrow at CenterPoint, which was great. Just making note that this is a multi-day mover. You can see we're highlighting 613. It made the runners list in the Wolf Trading Discord server on 614, and then 615. It's like day 2. We're watching it now. It could be a fade day. That's what we're thinking. So I think it did have. Let's take a look at this news here. $150 million, I think it was an offering, prospectus supplement. I think, it was effective S3, I believe, but I think that the 424B3 was blank. The price was blank. So I think we were expecting an 8K to come out with the pricing, and I don't know if it did or not, if they had a new prospectus supplement, but I think there's fundamental motive on this one. Again, that's just my opinion. I don't spend as much time on the fundamentals as I used to. I don't know, there's just not as much edge as there was if you've seen my fundamental videos from 2018 or 19. But so we're taking profit here into the Wolf lines, the LVNs at we said we're watching 1592, and that's where we're taking profit. So we took like 33% off or something like that. Yeah, first trim spot, 33%, 1604. And then I probably took a little bit more off. So I think maybe half at the most. And then I'm just fading it out. And I'm trying to save a piece for lower. I'm trying to hold longer. But you can see here, in the money risk trigger. Again, in the money risk, meaning we're setting our stops in the money. These are, again, the middle finger to the algos. I don't want to give any profit back. And you can see here a fantastic opportunity to add that we just missed. But this was sideways from here. I mean, it was a 70-cent range, which is good enough. I mean, that's enough. That's like 5% of the asset. You can get in there and scalp that range, but we just didn't do it particularly on this one. But that was Dawn. So let's keep moving forward. Here's CMRA. CMRA was on 616. This is an industrial 7 million float. We do have some annotations from the Wolf Trading Discord server here. Last time it was on the runners list was 615. So this is a multi-day mover. Yeah, multi-day mover it looks like. 7 million float. We're watching. This is pre-market. We're going to glance at 4 and 430s. So just keeping an eye on that. We didn't get in there obviously, but this is where I'm expecting some aggression. In this area here, you can see where it bounced. So I was watching this on the front side move up. I want to see aggression. I want to see faster tape. I want to see the static liquidity on the offer get released, right? So like these algos might be printing, in my opinion, 70, 80, up to 90% of the volume at the most, but they're controlling this. They're just painting these charts. So when they're going to get an imbalance, like maybe shorts are getting in early, and they're not going to help them get out. They're not going to provide liquidity for the opposing opponent to get out. So they just release that liquidity. They lift the offer, and that essentially you see a spike. And then that can essentially entice fresh uptick liquidity or longs to get in. And then that's when we see parabolic move. But not the case here. This is lower volume in pre-market. But we got a little feeler on around 5. Just a little feeler to watch some tape. I don't remember if this one was easy to borrow or not at CenterPoint, but I don't like to watch tape for free, meaning I'm not going to stare at tape and drain mental resources unless I'm risk on, Risk on meaning at least a feeler 10, 15, 25% of the borrow or the allocation. That way, you know, I got some skin in the game. And if the trade doesn't work, then fine, we cut it. But if it does work, which we hope it does 72% of the time, then we're going to get paid for our resources, right? We want to value our mental resources among all others. And this one was just heavy. This is kind of like short pops. So it pulls, we trim, it pops, we lean, it pulls, it pops, it pulls, and we're just in a rhythm with this, watching the tape intently. There's no way that I would want to watch the tape as intently as I did here without any risk on, without being in the trade. So if I'm watching the tape, I want to trade it, and that's what you see here. I didn't get all of it off, I don't think. And then open market. I like to trim down before the bell. Ding, ding, ding. You don't know what's going to happen. It's like a restart button. So it just, they hit the restart kind of, and I just want to be, risk off majorly into the bell. It was a little bit sideways, watching it a little bit. I think I got in at 9:32, gave it 90 seconds or something. Usually I'm watching 3 or 4 tickers at the bell anyway. We got back in, and then we got flat. You can see here, flat 413. That was a great trade. That's CMRA. CMRA, that was Thursday. Friday, wanted to share a couple with you guys. A&D day one was tricky as hell. If you remember A&D, the algo on A&D was very similar to SIDU. And if you remember on Friday, I think it was here, when it pulled, SIDU also pulled at the same time. That's a red flag for me that this could be the same trading firm. Again, that's just my opinion, but I trade these low floaters on high skepticism. We believe that the markets are rigged, to be honest with you. So everything I see is a scam, in my opinion. I'm not talking about blue chip stocks. I'm talking about these low floaters. And with these low floaters, we like to see them fade. As you can see here, watching $3. $3 was a multi-day point of control. So we're looking at multiple days, especially if this is a day 2 or day 3 play. And this is important. You absolutely want to include day 1 or day 2, especially if it's a liquidity event, high relative volume on those days. You absolutely want to include that liquidity onto day 2, day 3 on the fade day, because you want to see those prior levels act as support, maybe target areas. And you can see that's what we did here, watching that $3 multi-day point of control. It's a clue spot. So we reported that right at in pre-market. You know, it's still at 350, and we're, you know, identifying that there could be support at 3. It pushed. We got some on. You know, I mentioned that at 9:30. I like to see this reverse around 10 a.m., which it did. I was a little bit, I don't know, it's just Friday. Maybe I was just a little bit early to take profit and kind of get out of the office, enjoy the Florida sunshine. But this was definitely an early trim. I think I took off a third or half, and then I saw it break down here. It was heavy, 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 and then boom, flush. Now, there's no way I'm going to take profit here. If anything, I'm going to add when I see something like this, especially multi-day, kind of a trash name fading off. There's clues on other tickers that this algo is just risk off. And I just saved it for 306. I had high conviction that low 3 was going to come in. I think this is 50% of the position. The algo was a little tricky. It didn't fill me all at once. I didn't chase it up. I let it come back down, and it filled me off flat at 306. That was ADN. And lastly, we have KZIA. So KZIA, this one was kind of like a little bit of a battle here. We had a chat room pumper on it in pre. This guy likes to pump in pre. So we keep eyes on him because he adds volatility to the market, and that's what we like. We just want volatility any way we can get it. We love it. So a little bit early here, I was actually on a phone call with my father. We were talking about the title office. We had a condo that closed, but I kind of leaned in. I was just like leaning in because I was on the phone. No excuses, but once I saw this rejection here, I said, you know, Pops, I got to call you back. And I started getting heavier on the Pops. And this is where the majority of the size was. I don't remember the allocation on this one, but maybe 5%, 5%, 10%. There's no way I was more than 25% of the allocation on this front side. And then when it came down, you know, we're talking about 10%, 20%, 25%. You know, I'm getting heavier as the trade is working, especially as I'm taking profit. But right here, this is like aggressively trading, heavy mental drain. So we're watching this intently. I didn't get flat here. I still had some. I thought we were going to get a pull. I didn't get flat before the bell, but it did initially pull, and I was quick to take that. It was like a little bit of a bid prop into the bell here. And I didn't want to chase it up. And then you can see in the room, I'm mentioning See, in pre-market, added some, added more. The entire time when this thing started to pull in, my risk was 636. You can see this line here. We added more. Tight risk. This is a high risk to reward area. You know, we're getting fills at 28, 32, 34, essentially risking 36. If that LVN Wolf line did crack, I'm sure that the 40 offer would have been lifted and we would have got filled at maybe 45 if we were quick. But that's theoretical. The RR is not as great as it sounds. There's always going to be slippage, especially at these key levels, inflection. But you can see that it was basically this chat room pumper versus our Wolf line LVN that we like to watch, and he was going after it. And the shorts just kind of dominated this one. On the room, I put, fatality, because shorts were going to win this battle, I thought. And you can see we did. And we were flat 566. So that wraps up the trades I wanted to share with you guys this week. If you want to see all of our trades that we made and that we posted, come check us out on Twitter. We post multiple charts every day. Come give us a look. Wolf_trading. That's on Twitter. So that wraps up. Thanks so much for watching. Just want to say, if this video does get 1,000 views, which I'm almost guaranteed it will, I'm going to randomly select somebody who made a comment, and we're going to offer you guys a free lifetime invitation to the Wolf Trading Discord server. Leave a comment, leave a like. Here's the technical room. Just very briefly, we like to post every single day. Levels that we're watching, we like to post levels before it gets to the levels. We talk about patterns, tiers, formations. We really post a lot. Here's in the money risk, saving mental resources. There's just tons of stuff that we talk about. HUSA, here's the levels that we're watching before they get there. Then when we see the reversal tape, these are the Wolf lines, the higher time frame liquidity deposit. In my opinion, if you're learning how to read level 2 and time and sales leading data, it's a lot easier if you know where to look. So it's not the best idea just to stare at tape all day long. We kind of like just to save mental resources because we value them, and watch at key inflection points. Here's the VIX. This was before the Fed hiked at 75 basis points. We were talking about possible VIX pull in here to that honey spot at 30, which it did do. We sold some naked puts on Tesla, and we took advantage of that volatility contraction. Here's other trades as well that we didn't talk about. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the room. And we also have the runner's room. Every single day, the stocks that run, we like to post these levels. This is a historical library as well. If you want to see how a stock ran since we started this room, see here, established February 20, 2019. You're going to have a 4K image of the stock, and you're going to see the front side volume profile, which is great. Here's our mission statement. We'd love to have you come check us out. Information to join a room down below. We're running a special. Peace. You made it all the way to the end of the video. You must have really enjoyed it. We're so glad to have you on board. Please feel free to like, comment, share these videos, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's much, much more to come. Happy trading, be smart, and stay safe.